All right, welcome to day 5 review session. We'll go ahead and get started here. Which file mode is used to open a file for reading? W, A, R, or X? All right, that is the read mode. Next question, what does the read mode do? Oh, sorry, the read method do. Reads a specific number of characters from a file, reads a single line from a file, reads the entire contents of a file, or reads the last line of a file. The read method. It's going to read the entire contents of a file and provide it back to you if it's in text mode, it'll provide it back to you as a string. So it'll be one long string containing everything in the file. Question number 3. Which of the following statements about file modes in Python is true? The A mode opens a file for writing and overwrites the contents. The R mode opens a file for reading and creates a new file if it doesn't exist. The X mode opens a file in binary mode for writing. The W mode opens a file for writing and appends new contents to the end of the file. The mode is R, that opens a file for reading, and if a file does not exist, Python will go ahead and create a new blank file for you. How can you handle a file not found exception when opening a file? Use a try except block with a file not found error. Use a try except block with an except file error. Use a try except block with an except IO error. Or use a try except block with except of exception. The most specific answer would be the file not found error. You could also argue that we could use the exception because it's the base class or the parent, and this would work. But in most exams, in certification classes and things like that, you'll need to be the most correct answer, which is the file not found error. Question number 5. What is the purpose of the write method in Python? Read the contents from a file, append contents to a file, create a new file, write contents to a file. Yep, not a trick question. The write method will write the contents to a file. Question number 6. How do you open a file in write mode and append content to it? We can use the R mode, we can use the W mode, we can use the A mode, or we can use the X mode. We want to open a file in write mode and append content to it, so we don't want to delete everything. We will use the append mode. So the A mode stands for append. The W mode would let us write to a file, but it would blow away all the contents in the file, so it doesn't really append to it. It restarts the file over as a blank file. Question number 7. Which keyword is used to close a file in Python? Close, end, finish, or stop? Another non-trick question, the close method is how we close files in Python. And remember, the close method, they're nice in Python. It actually flushes the contents, so anything in RAM gets written to the disk, and then the file is closed. Question number 8. What does the finally block in a try except statement ensure? The code inside it will always run regardless of exceptions. The code inside it will only run if an exception occurs. The code inside it will only run if no exception occurs. The code inside it will handle the exception. All right, yeah, so the code inside will always run no matter if there's an exception or not. The except block only runs if an exception occurs. The else block only runs if no exceptions occur. So those are the other three options that we have. But finally block will always run regardless of whether there is or is not an exception. Number 9. Which exception is raised if you attempt to divide a number by 0 in Python? Is that the zero division error, a value error, a type error, or an index error? That's the zero division error. Number 10. How can you handle multiple exceptions in a single try except block? We could use multiple except blocks with different exception types. Use a single except block and catch all exceptions. Use a finally block to handle multiple exceptions. Use an if-else statement within the except block. Again, the correct answer is this, we can use multiple exception blocks. There is another answer that could be, I could use if-else inside an exception block, but this is not the preferred way to do it because this is using a different kind of control flow. The preferred and better answer would be to use multiple exception blocks with each exception block handling a specific exception. And number 11, file I/O and error handling makes much more sense now. True or false? We don't need that whole time. We'll go ahead and answer that. Hopefully the answer is true. And I will see you for next class where we'll talk about classes and how Python is an object-oriented programming language.